Okay, it's Sunday again. We have a game lined up. Once again, it's Orcs and Goblins versus Ogres. We just kind of fiddled with our lists. After last week's humiliating defeat, I decided to give Bretonians another try, but not today. I needed something to up morale, so I brought out the Orcs and Goblins again. This time, no proxies, believe it or not. I've even started painting some, so looking pretty good. And that's not technically the actual model, but it's my mangler squig. It's now a couple of squigs with a goblin with a few symbols, just to represent the mangler squig, so that's looking pretty good. Right, so this is Orc and Goblin deployment. We're playing the Blood and Glory scenario. Both have 6 breakpoints, and this is what's in my list. We have a Goblin Rock Lobber, 6 Squig Hoppers, 51 Night Goblins with nets, a Troll with no arms, a Spear Chucker in the building, 49 Big Uns with the Orc General and BSB in. We have a Doom Diver, a level 1 Goblin Night Shaman, another Troll, 39 Black Orcs with the level 4 Orc Shaman, another Rock Lobber, the Mangler Squig, and a Spear Chucker. And that's it. So it's 2,400 points on the nose. So we'll now look at size deployment.
Okay, unfortunately still plenty of proxies. This is mainly due to Total Wargamer not sending my order for the last 3 weeks. So yes, not very pleased with him. Over here on my left I have 4 Mournfang. I have a Stonehorn, then 8 Iron Guts led by Firebelly, and over here is my unit of 15 Bulls with the BSB and the Slaughtermaster. It's part of a real Slaughtermaster there. My Grace here has finally retired, given up his post to the real thing, so I expect him to die first turn. Then over here we have an Iron Blaster, and then over to my right flank I have 2 Saber Tusks.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 1, and there was no animosity, even though I've only got 2 units that actually suffer from it. Okay, so in the movement phase, the Squig Hopper's just moved up, and so did the Mangler Squig, just moved up there, and everything else pretty much stayed where it was. Then in the magic phase, I attempted to cast Hand of Gork on the Mangler Squig just to get him further up and protect him from the cannon a bit better, but Sai scrolled it, which is fair enough. Because I only got 4 dice and he got 3, so he had not the greatest chance of dispelling it. And then with my last dice, I then used my power scroll and attempted to cast Foot of Gork, which I failed to dispel. I managed to get it off, but it just scattered off and not hit anyone, so that was a shame. So yeah, it would have been nice to stomp those, but the way it was angled, it just missed them, so a bit of a shame. Okay, and then in the shooting phase, the Spear Chucker in here shot one of the Saber Tusks, killed it, and panicked the other one, and that one's running away, so that was a really good start. Then the Doom Diver fired, did 3 wounds to the Stonehorn, which was lovely. Then it went downhill from there. Both Rock Lobbers missed, and the other Spear Chucker blew itself up, so yeah. And obviously there's no close combat yet, so yeah, pretty optimistic. I'm glad I got rid of some of his chaff, and half-strength Stonehorn is much better than full-strength Stonehorn. So we'll see what happens in Ogres turn 1.
Okay, end of rather quick Ogres turn 1. On the flank here, basically, I didn't particularly want to move because there's a rather dangerous looking Mangler Squig. So I shifted up these guys a little bit, moved these guys around. Alas, my poor little Saber Tusk decided that things was bad times and scarpered off the board, which is kind of to be expected. Which is a bit of a shitbag because now I have no way of getting Night Goblins out, getting Fanatics out. So yeah, that's not going to be good. The magic phase went extremely badly. Started off quite nicely. I forced Ollie to use all of his dispel dice, having myself got 11 and Ollie got 6. I got a really powerful cast fireball on a 17 with my level 2, which was really nice, which would have toasted up his Mangler Squid quite nicely. But yeah, Ollie just threw everything at it and dispelled it. And then I was thought, oh well, need to try and get it again. So cast Spine Marrow, the extended version. So I only needed an 11 plus. I had Grutskill going, so I had +6. Wanted a roll, 2 1s and a 2. So that was pretty much the end of my magic phase. So I then lost the other sort of 5 dice that I had, which pretty much would have gone on unopposed. So yeah, that was somewhat annoying. However, thankfully the dice were feeling a bit sorry for me, and then he just took careful aim with his bolt thrower, hit it, wounded it, and then did it 3 wounds and took it out. So yeah, very nice. I managed to kill it in the end, but it took a wasted magic phase to do so. My only disappointment being is that the poor cannon didn't have anything to shoot at. But I'll settle for that. So yeah, I've got rid of the Mangler Squig. Well, unfortunately, with no saber tusks, it's more rather dangerous old fanatics coming out soon enough. So yeah, onwards to Orcs turn 2.
Okay, it's end of Orcs and Goblins turn 2. It's pretty unspectacular. The Night Goblins just moved up a bit. Squighoppers did the same. And then the magic phase, tried to cast Foot Gork, so I only just dispelled it. And then I cast, what's it called? Brain Burster. Managed to wound with BSB against all the odds. Then in the shooting phase, both my Rock Lobbers missed the Mornfang. My Doom Diver hit the Stonehorn but failed to wound it. And my Spear Chucker failed to hit the Mornfang. So that was it. So it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 2. And oh, there's no animosity at all either, as you may have guessed. So that's it. So see you at the end of Ogres turn 2.
Okay, end of Ogres turn 2. Everyone now, Mangler Squig free, has moved up, got into position. My cannon swiveled around. Over here, not liking the prospect of like Night Goblin fanatics and Squighoppers and all kinds of various dirty stuff, especially these guys going into my flank with nets will basically mean spell the end for that unit. So yeah, I decided that it'd be best if I occupied this building for purely tactical reasons, of course. But yeah, no, those Night Goblins basically would have taken me out of the game, so there's no bloody way I'm going in there. So yeah, basically that's sort of me in a slightly better position than I was last turn. So yeah, magic phase was like a fairly average one. Ollie had to throw all of his dice to stop his troll from getting fireballed. And then with my remaining dice, I got troll guts off on the on my unit here, and yeah, basically that was pretty much it. Shooting phase. I tried shooting the troll with the harpoon launcher, and it missed. And then I tried a cannonball shot at the rock lava, but there was a few too many black orcs in the way, and the mass dense, heavily armoured bodies eventually slowed the cannonball down. But I did kill 2 orcs, so it's not too bad, although there's still rather a lot there. But yeah, not a bad go. So yeah, it will be on to Orcs and Goblins. Well, yeah, Orcs and Goblins turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 3. There was some animosity this time. The Goblins decided they were just going to sit around, amazed at the fact an entire ogre horde ran away from them to hide in a building. Right, so yeah, so it was a bit annoying, but it's not really too game breaking just yet. Then everything else just moved. These guys just moved up a little bit, and the troll moved up here, And this troll moved here, so we just moved here. Magic phase, I cast Hand of Gork, just move this troll up even further, just to get in the way of the Mournfang. Then I cast Foot of Gork, which got through onto the Mournfang. It scattered onto the troll, stomped on him, and he passed his regen, thankfully, so he lives. And then Gork got bored and wandered off. Then I cast... I cast Foot of Gork, and got a miscast for that. Got 7 and killed 3 Black Orcs. I had a power drain, so I probably wouldn't have been able to use my last 2 dice anyway. I think it's a power drain, isn't it? Doesn't really matter. Then in the shooting phase, my Spear Chucker blew itself up in classic Goblin fashion. Both Rock Lobbers missed again. One of them slightly clipped a Mournfang for a strength 3 hit, but didn't do anything. And then the Doom Diver managed to hit Stonehorn again and do another wound to it. So it's only got 2 left now. So that's how it's looking. Not great, but that's it. So we'll see you at the end of Ogres turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of Ogres turn 3. Rather unfortunate turn of events. Many charges were declared. The Stonehorn and the Iron Guts were to heroically charge into the Black Orcs, try and show them who was boss. Alas, the Stonehorn petered forward a mere 2 inches because he rolled really low, and then just to rub salt into the wound, I rolled a double 1 for their charge distance and petered forward 1 inch. Then obviously the Mournfang had to pretty much charge the Redirector, as I was just a bit out of whack. Basically, obviously slaughtered the troll and hoped that my momentum would take me forward enough, but unfortunately I rolled a pretty pitiful overrun distance. I was hoping I was going to near overrun off the board and take them out of the Orcs' charge arc. But yeah, which is unfortunate. However, to add insult to injury, in my magic phase, I got off Toothcracker and Troll Guts on these Iron Guts. So happy days, I thought. At least they'll probably survive. But unfortunately, I tried to get off. Toothcracker with 2 dice, which it did, as you can see. But it was due to a miscast, which basically killed my wizard and sucked him into the void, which was very unfortunate, as he was my general. And since we're playing Blood and Glory, I am 2 breakpoints down with 1 to go. So essentially, if I lose one of my units, I've lost. And these guys, they're pissing in the wind. So yeah, not good at all. Bit of bad luck swung my way. Bit of clever redirecting on Ollie's part, and yeah, things are looking a bit grim. So we will see whether the Orcs can finish it in their turn 4.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Well, it was pretty short. So I didn't fail any animosity, and then I declared a charge with my Black Orcs, and Sire, sensing that he couldn't actually win a combat with 35 Black Orcs in his flank, elected to flee on the small chance that he'd roll a low amount and not run off the board, and thus I wouldn't be able to reach him, which was a really good idea. But unfortunately he rolled really high and ended up fleeing off the board anyway, so thus winning me the game. Yeah. So a bit of an unfortunate game, because we like a good punch up in the middle, and this one
bizarrely
didn't involve any.
Yeah, the only combat being the Mournfang versus the troll.
Yeah, it's the Mournfang who blew through that troll, but to be fair to them, that is the same troll that Gork couldn't stomp, so he was a pretty tough troll. But he is the only thing that died in close combat. I think I probably killed more of my own stuff, with my bolt throwers blowing themselves up, than I actually killed of mine. Oh no, he did kill 5 Black Orcs. Oh no, I killed 3 of those. Okay. So I killed more of my own stuff than Si did. And Si killed more of his own stuff than I did. So, because he killed his Slaughtermaster, which pretty much lost him the game. So, yeah. So not the most eventful game, but certainly a good kind of show how tactics and a little bit of bad luck can affect a game much more than a big slap fest in the middle. So I was really looking forward to getting these hordes into combat and having a good old punch up with him, but unfortunately it didn't happen. We did, ironically, before the game started, we did discuss having the break point instead of an auto win, just 500 victory points. But we decided not to, just to play it El Natural, which of course turned the game into quite a short game. So maybe we'll try that next time. But as it stands, that's how we decided to play. So I'll just run through my units. A quick thing I will say, just before we started the game, we decided we were going to have some random terrain again. But in this case, I'd actually rolled not Banestone. Basically, there was something that gave.
The Tower of Blood.
Yeah, Tower of Blood for this thing, which would have gave all the forces of destruction, i.e. orcs, frenzied and hatred. And of course, if I deployed both my hordes there, it would have been quite disgusting. So in the end, we decided not to. We're not a big fan of the random terrain, but that one just seemed a little bit too over the top. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that. So that's why we didn't have any of this game, just because it was a bit ridiculous. And also this thing benefited me quite hugely as well, and size didn't really benefit him at all. So yeah, we decided not to bother with random terrain in this game. Anyway, so I'm going to run through just like a unit review kind of thing. Rock Lobbers didn't hit anything the whole game, apart from skimming a Mournfang and not wounding it. The Doom Diver did pretty well. It's really good for killing stone hordes. Put plenty of wounds on it. The Bolt Thrower over here obviously took out both Sabertusk with one shot, so can't really knock that, even though he did blow himself up. Paid for himself. The other Spear Chucker blew itself up in the first turn, so can't really say much about that, but it is only 35 points, so I can live with that. The Goblins, obviously, although they haven't proven themselves in combat yet, are obviously pretty scary to sight, because his whole horde of Ogres decided they didn't want to fight them, which was fair enough, because I suspect those in the flank would have held him up for pretty much the whole game. So, not sure if he made the right decision there, but I can't really see any other way of avoiding them or getting around them other than to fight them. So, and of course, if he had charged them, then it would have left my big uns in his flank, which would have been over a lot quicker than the Goblins in his flank. So it would have been pretty nasty as well.
Well, not forgetting Fanatics as well.
Oh yeah, the Fanatics in there as well. Yeah, they're still loaded with Fanatics. Squick Hoppers, in principle, are really good for killing Sabertusk, just because they're random movement, so they're very hard to be outmanoeuvred. Didn't get to really use them though, or didn't get to use them at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The Orc Shaman did alright, he threw some spells around. I don't think anything was particularly pivotal. Foot of Gork didn't really do anything. So really, the only thing that kind of performed in my army, other than the Doom Diver, was the Troll, the one that got stomped. So this one's just the other Troll that moved up, so he didn't really get to do anything. But this one Troll probably affected the game more than anything else on the board. So other than Slotmaster blowing himself up, which is pretty pivotal. But the only positive effect on the game was that Troll, who could get jumped on by an Orc God and still survive to probably win the game actually. So yeah. So that's how I'm looking. It was a pretty fun game. Like I said, it's a bit of a shame there isn't a big punch up in the middle, because that's what we both enjoy most. But what we're going to do is we're going to play some smaller games today. So we're still going to get our fix. I'll hand you over to Simon and see what he thinks of the battle.
Yeah, slightly disappointing that we didn't really get any big punch up going on. Like Ollie says, those little night goblins are a pain in the arse. Yeah, definitely in my flank, I would have been in big trouble. Because yeah, basically they would have either moved up, released Fanatics, hurt me bad, then eventually charged in and held me up, or I would have had to have charged them, and then I've still got the Fanatics. Pretty much my only hope of dealing with those effectively was to get Sabertusk in there to release the Fanatics, and then just keep redirect, and then just try and redirect them for a turn or two to sort of stop them from getting anywhere. I had kind of planned to stay away from the squig hoppers, maybe grape shot them towards the end of the game and pick up some victory points. But yeah, a bit disappointing. Ollie was unerringly accurate with his Doom Diver, although Doom Divers are very accurate anyway. You can't really miss a base that size, considering like the middle of it is about 3 inches anyway, so you pretty much roll a 4 or more, 4 or less, and you're guaranteed a hit. So yeah, he kind of died, and Ollie was pretty good at rolling them 5s and 6s at the start, getting 5 hits on it on the first turn and getting like 3 wounds, which was unfortunate. But yeah, I think what screwed it for me was definitely losing my Slaughtermaster. That was kind of really bad. I mean, it's just kind of the way it is. I really struggled to get rid of those trolls because everything I threw at the trolls was basically either dispelled or regenerated. Because obviously Ollie knew that if I got a charge on those big unit of Black Orcs, I would have blown through quite a lot of them and smashed face. But
yeah, I think the redirects are really the name of the game when you've got 2 big hordes facing each other.
Yeah.
I mean, those 2 trolls, well, one of them at least, pretty much controlled the game for me, and all I had to do was keep them alive. So, I mean, I think in a way you do suffer from having very few ways of dealing with chaff, because you've only got your cannon, your bolt thrower, and like a fireball.
Yeah.
So, I think that's why I kind of think that lead belchers would be really useful to you.
Trouble is that's a big sacrifice in this force. Very, very big sacrifice. Because I'm essentially, it's either 4 guys out of this unit, 3 guys out of that unit, or I lose a couple of guys and a Mournfang, stuff like that. So, and it's not, you're not 100% guaranteed to get your chaff in the right place anyway. Get the chaff killers in the right place anyway. So it's tough. I think I do need some lead belchers somewhere. I've just got to try and squeeze some points in somewhere. But it's hard because if you start removing the killing power of the ogres, all of a sudden they become impotent. Because while the unit of 9 Iron Guts can put out quite a lot of damage, it just can't put out enough compared to, say, this unit here. If that unit goes into a unit of Black Orcs with a bit of help, they're going to smash face. If that unit went into a unit of Black Orcs, you know, it would they would need the Mournfang to do the job as well. They'd need something massive, hard hitting. They just aren't good enough on their own. I mean, I can see why people take like big hordes of Iron Guts themselves just to really kind of do it. I mean, perhaps I might end up doing that. You might just take one big gut star and call it at that. But well, you know, that's a bit boring. But yeah, might have to go back to the drawing board. The Mournfang are always good. But yeah, they got redirected. Single trolls work very well as well. I'd say they're probably must be one of the best redirectors in the game. 4-up.
They're really good as long as they're within 12 of the general.
Yeah.
Otherwise they're not so good.
Yeah, but that's it. Kind of a 4-up region.
When I've got like 3 large units like that, I can afford to keep them close by. So. Yeah.
They just proved too tough this game to get rid of, which was unfortunate. I might have to start thinking of other ways and means. But yeah, unfortunately, the only other stuff that I've got that has flaming attacks to definitely take care of them is really the Firebelly himself, who of course should be able to blow through that thing with relative ease. But unfortunately, if the Firebelly is charging in, then he's already done his job. So yeah, that's a bit of a pisser. So it's tough. I mean, redirectors are what this whole game is about.
Well, they're definitely the answer to hordes.
Mm.
You know, just little redirectors are so irritating.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, and I think sort of the monster one and the ability to pivot on the spot at any point really makes it. Because I mean, a saber tusk is great, but the trouble is that you move him halfway across the battlefield, and then he's got to then be able to angle himself to the correct point and be exactly where he has to be to pull off the redirection.
Mm.
And that's a lot harder than it seems when you're playing 100% by the rules. And we tend to sometimes be a bit loose with that, but sort of thing.
Like 1 inch of a building rule we don't really care about.
No,
this is a bit stupid. So
that's
we try and observe the 1 inch between units, but the 1 inch to a building is just we don't care about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a bit fast and loose with some of the more minor rules.
But yeah, we're trying to sort of get right the ones about keeping everyone in the right amount of movement and pivoting correctly and stuff. Yeah. And unfortunately, the saber tusk kind of falls short of that, where it means he's got to sacrifice a lot of his movement to then do the redirect.
One of the things we were talking about last week is that a saber tusk is essentially still a unit because it is just a unit of one, rather than a monster or something which has those sort of obviously a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Manoeuvrability. So a saber tusk does suffer from that, but you know they're 21 points. So
yeah, it's pretty good. Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, like obviously with that you can send him forward and like stick him there, and then he'll end up being stupid. But to be fair, by that point he's doing his job properly anyway.
Send him out, and who cares if he's because he can't. Even if I send him out of the 12 range, the worst thing that's going to happen is going to stumble forward D6, but he can't actually move into contact with the unit doing that. So he's still going to be in front of the unit. It may not be the angle I want him to be, but that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So he just needs to stay within 12 to remain under control. And the point where I need him, I send him out. Even if he moves out of range, it doesn't really matter because he'll still be in front of them. So trolls are good.
Trolls as redirectors
as well.
Yeah. Trolls as redirectors. It's pretty good. They are pretty damn tough. Because I was quite glad I killed the Mangler Squeak at the start. But yeah, I could really have done with certainly shifting that troll. The other one, excuse me, didn't really do too much, but he pretty much helped secure. Well, he certainly made the game definite rather than anything else. Because I think it was the failed charges more than anything else. Because I think if I kind of dispelled Hand of Gork and stopped that movement, I still had the chance of getting the Iron Guts and the Mournfang in. But the trouble is that even if that had happened, I don't think even 4 Mournfang would have been enough to take care of 35 Black Orcs. They would have given the Black Orcs a damn good hiding, but I think that they wouldn't quite be enough, and I think they'd eventually die. But having said that, at least I would have had a very weakened unit of Black Orcs to then go after. But yeah, still. At the end of the day,
there's just one breakpoint in here as well.
Yeah, and it's really that unit. And wisely, Ollie has packed that full of pretty much everything you can possibly pack it full of. So you've essentially got to wipe them to the man. So yeah, that's very cunning with that because sort of your 3 breakpoints all in there. I think I'd probably need the entire army going in just to whip it down in time.
Kill this or kill the other 3 units. Oh no, there's 4 breakpoints there, isn't there? So yeah, you have to kill that unit.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough, very very tough.
Yeah, they're leadership 10 with a reroll, so.
You had the Crown of Command.
Yeah, Crown of Command, yeah.
And I dare say ward saves on both your BSB and your General.
Yeah, that's got 4 up ward.
Yeah. So yeah, there's pretty much there's no shift in that. I mean that's what you got to do really. I mean it's just a shame I can't quite afford to give my guys quite that protection.
So you had the same thing. I mean, you're all 4 break points in your one unit.
Yeah.
The only real way for me to win by not killing that unit is for you to blow up your wizard.
Yes, which I did quite convincing.
So it was a great plan on my part.
Yeah, it worked very well. So yeah, we're going to tidy up and we're going to get a few 500 point games in. I fancy trying my Skaven list. I'm probably going to quickly rejig it. And then I might bring some Empire out as well.
Yeah.
Volley fancies are coming. So yeah, we'll see you in a bit.